Hi, folks. I'm Jeff, the founder of RV Diagnostics Facebook page, which is called RV Diagnostics and Troubleshooting. Also, I have a website you all know about. I have a YouTube channel called RV Diagnostics, and I have an RV repair garage called RV Diagnostics. It's actually a garage in a school where a lot of people stop by to learn their vehicles, how to fix them, and how to troubleshoot them. Some stay a day, some stay 5 days, 6 days, some stay a week. It all depends. I have 50 amp service back there and water and sewage. So, yeah, I charge like $25 a day to be back there. That's not bad because I have to pay $600 to get the septic pumped out. So, all right, now look, seems to be a little bit of confusion, and some people, uh, you got to learn. Okay, you have to learn if you have an RV. What's RV mean? Recreational vehicle. No, it means repair the vehicle. uh, some of y'all learned that the hard way. So let's talk about this thing called converter and inverter. Okay, we can have two separate ones, converter and an inverter. Tiffin does that a lot on their lower model ones. They have a separate inverter for one or two outlets and a TV, and then they have a converter, which basically, what is a converter? It's a battery charger. That's what it is. Downplaying. Some of them float, some of them bulk, some of them, sit there in the middle a little bit. Some go like 14.8, then they come down to like 13.9, then they come down to like 13, 12.7. Some of them are 3 stage, 4 stage, all right, or bulk, absorb, and float. So now let's talk about it. The converter takes 120 volts AC. That's out there on your shore power, shoreline, pedestal. The same voltage that you plug your vacuum cleaner into, okay, in your house or your blenders or your microwaves, okay. And then, so it takes 120, and usually that's on a 15 amp house circuit breaker like you have in your house, a little toggle. Now, that converts that to DC to the bulk, absorb, and float. So, and some of them even have, excuse me, some of them have 4 levels because the bulk is in 2 stages. All right, so now, what's a converter? Basically a battery charger. And I know somebody out there go, oh, I haven't had a battery on my house batteries for a year, and I've been running my lights off of that. Well, that ain't good for that, I can tell you that. Because it's designed for the battery to be like accumulator or absorbs. It says, all right, I'm going to turn voltage. I need something on. And it drops the voltage a little bit, and then the converter helps absorb that. You got me? They're together. They work in conjunction. A battery, whether wet cell, AGM, LiFePO, lithium, absorbent glass mat, which is AGM. And then the converter keeps charging the battery. But when you pull too much voltage out of the battery, the converter is there to absorb all that, to help balance that electrical load out. What are loads? DC blower motors on your propane heaters. Possibly your awnings that have electric power, 12 volt. Mine has a 110 motor, but it's a Girard. It's Class A. Some of them have 120. Most of them have 12 volt. All right, now back to it. What is a converter? It takes 120 volts AC, converts it to automotive 12 volt DC, direct current. All right, so there, that one's out of the way. Now let's talk about this inverter. Well, guess what? It's backwards of the battery charger. It says, hey, I'm going to take battery voltage 12 volt and I'm going to make 120 volts AC. Well, folks, that's what it does. All right. And most of them, when they're separate units, they power up the microwave or they power up a residential refrigerator only, and maybe one outlet. And they're measured in wattage AC. And what is wattage? Oh, sorry about that. It's volts times amps equals power. Wattage is the power. Most of your microwaves are around 900 watts. So there you go. So you would take 900 divided by 120. That'd give you your amps that strong. All right. So, you're supposed to know all this. You own an RV, but some of you are learning, and I got you. Some of you are just getting into this. So let's get the jargon, the language right. What's a converter? Takes 120 volts AC, converts it to 12 volt DC to charge the batteries. Hence, we call it a battery charger. Some of them are 4 levels, 4 stages. Most of them are 3. The old ones were just 1. They just slam charged them batteries. So it's bulk, floating, absorb, right in there. It goes bulk, absorb, floating. Floating means it's the minimal load, that the minimum amps, that minimum power that the DC side of the converter is putting out to keep your batteries happy, because they're at a happy level. They're like at 12.7 probably, right? 12.6. All right, now what's an inverter? It's the opposite. That's all you got to say. It takes DC voltage, battery voltage, and makes AC so I can use my hair dryer. See? I got to dry my hair too every now and then. Yeah, right. Now, here's where we really get to have some fun. Combi unit, combination, like a Magnum or a Hearth 458 Xantrex. They take the inverter and converter, combine it in one box. So that big box is sitting there and it says, hey, I see 120 volts coming in. So it has a little miniature transfer switch in it, or what they call pass-through. Here's the terminology. Pass-through circuit. What is it? It's a miniature transfer switch. You know where that's at. If you don't, I'll talk about that later. So it says, all right, AC in, I see AC. I'm sending AC out, and I'm going to let you probably use the most 30 amps. All right, so now we turn the microwave on, and now we turn the coffee pot on, and we're already exceeding 30 amps. All right, so y'all catch on eventually. Will it kill that combination inverter converter right away? No, but it sure will cost you some money later on because you didn't pay attention to how many watts you were pulling or how many amps. All right, so that part happens. 120 in. Where do we get that from? Hopefully your 30, 50 amp service outside. A lot of y'all dog boning all the way down to a 15 amp house outlet. It's better than nothing, but I would recommend you getting a 30 and a 50 amp service put in. If you're a 30, get a 30. You might want to put a 50 in because you might get rid of the 30 amp RV and get a 50. Yes, it costs money to own these things. If you're a little travel trailer or something like that pop up and you just want to maintain the battery, just put a battery tender on it. All right, so the combination unit. All right, it's seen 120 coming in from the shore power, shore line, pedestal, house, dog boned all the way down. A dog bone is an adapter that takes the 50 down to a 30, 30 down to a 15, or a 20 down to a 15. It adapts it down to a lower, which I don't recommend. I just don't do it. All right, so now once it sees that, it says, hey, I'm going to become a battery charger. So the combination unit inverter converter, now it's charging your house batteries or coach batteries. All right, so it says, all right, I like that. It has the same thing. It does a bulk slam charge up to 30 amps DC. Then it comes and does an absorb charge. Man, I kind of like it, but it ain't all the way there yet. But now I don't have to roast them and boil them. And then it floats it. All right. Remember what I told you? There are some that do 4. All right. So the combination unit. So that means if there's a combination, which is a miniature pass-through, a miniature transfer switch of 120 volts AC, and a battery charger combined, one of those things can go wrong. It could probably do a pass-through, but the Battery charger part of the combination inverter converter is not working. All right. And there you go. So now let's talk about what it does. The combination unit. And we can give it names, inverter, converter. We can give it Magnum. We can give it Hearth Interface. We can give it Xantrax. I've seen some stuff out there that people go, hey, I got this off of eBay for $69. You think it's good? I'm thinking, you do what you want, your money. I like buying quality stuff because it lasts longer. But, everybody's budget's different. Me, I just do without something else. I buy the quality item because it lasts longer. I don't have to buy it again. All right, now, let's say it don't see 120 coming in because you're not plugged to shore power. You're driving down the road. It says, wait a minute, I don't see 120 coming in. That's the combination unit, inverter converter box. Magnum, there you go. Anyway, it says, hey, I don't have 120 in. So guess what? I'm going to take the batteries that I was just charging and I'm going to pull from them and I'm going to make AC voltage and I'm going to send it out the AC out. All right. So now it's not using the bypass or the pass through in there. All right. So you got it. There you go. You had AC in, AC out. Now it don't see AC in. All right, you turn it on by your control panel up front and says, hey, I'm going to be an inverter combination unit. So there you go, folks. Separate converter, what is it? Basically a battery charger. Takes 120 volt AC, makes 12 volt automotive power. Inverter, separate. It only takes DC and makes AC voltage out of it for your microwave and refrigerator. The combination units is converter inverter. When it sees 120 in, it says, hey, I'm going to pass that through out the 120 line and feed most likely the microwave and feed some outlets by your bedroom so you have a little bit of medical stuff or chargers or something like that. It's only good up to about 30 amps. There's some other ones out there that'll do 50, 70 amps, but that's big money. All right, now, also what's it become? A battery charger. When it sees 120 in. What about if it don't see 120 in? Well, it becomes an inverter, like the two separate ones we talked about. All right, folks, this is Jeff from RV Diagnostics. Hopefully that did not confuse you. Keep watching this video till you get it. You got to know what you got so we can help you troubleshoot it. You got to know where it's at. I don't know where half this stuff is. When they bring an RV to me, I'm thinking, well, you know what? The last Newmar Dutch Star I worked on, it was here. I go over there and look, it ain't there. They moved it. So don't ask me where half of it is. I got a general idea. I know the rules. But, what can I tell you? I know how to troubleshoot them, though. That's where you and I will shine as a team. All right. So, folks, couple ways to get a hold of me. Jeff at RV Diagnostics email. Okay. Or the YouTube channel, RV Diagnostics. Or the garage, RV Diagnostics at 22480 Bloxham, Bloxom School Road, Seaford, Delaware, 19973. Don't show up there because sometimes I'm not here. And of the 18 cameras I have on the property, I'm pretty much sure that I'll know you're there. Please don't come. And you're probably going to say, well, give me your telephone number. I can call you. You can have my telephone number if you join my website where I do one-on-one troubleshooting. All right. If you don't join that, you won't get my telephone number. You can email me. Say, hey, Jeff, I'm on the East Coast over by Delaware, which is a peninsula between, I got the Atlantic Ocean to the east of me, all kind of beaches, and then to the west of me, I got the Chesapeake Bay, Choptank River. I got 480 some campgrounds around me. No, I don't do mobile repair no more. Okay. I'll do web repair. I'll troubleshoot with you over this video phone link and watch what you're doing step by step. I just helped a lady out with her 30 amp system. It wasn't working. All right. What's the other way to get a hold of me? You can message me on Facebook. all right, on RV Diagnostics and Troubleshooting. So you got Facebook RV Diagnostics Troubleshooting. You got my email, Jeff at rvdiagnostics.com. You got my website, www.rvdiagnostics.com. Go to the website, look at the videos that people give me on testimonial. I do not tell them what to say because nobody says the same thing, folks. They say what they believe that they learned. All right. And the other one is the garage, okay? And the YouTube channel. You can leave a comment section. Hey, Jeff, I was looking at this and I think you're all messed up. Or, Jeff, I didn't quite understand that. Or, Jeff, you didn't put the link down there for the tool you said you were going to. Folks, I'm not perfect, but I can troubleshoot, let me tell you. All right, thank you once again. This is Jeff from RV Diagnostics. A lesson on what is a converter, what is an inverter, and what is a combination unit. That means both of them together. Thank you very much. It's Jeff. I'm out of here.